the best in this sport. Whether you like it or not, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Georgia Players Section with Tavarres King, Knowshon Moreno. Those are the two reasons that you tune in right there, Tavarres King and Knowshon Moreno. I'm Blaine Gilmer. Cheers to everybody. Appreciate you guys tuning in with us to talk all things Georgia football, all things SEC football, and most importantly, to have a little fun on this show because we like to keep you informed but keep it light all at the same time, fellas. And we got to start off a little celebration out in your neck of the woods out there in Denver, Knowshon. The Nuggets take home the NBA Finals. So what's the vibe like out there in Colorado with the Nuggets winning it all?
They are the champions. See, I can't say we because I'm like, I'm a New Jersey Nets fan. New Jersey Nets. We don't even have a team anymore. But now, yeah, them Denver boys. I was rooting for them. Can't say I wasn't rooting for them, but they got it done, man. First one in franchise history. It's just great to see it, man. All the work that they put in and all the guys coming together after kind of a rough start, but it was a little turmoil going on with the team, like before All-Star Week. You know what I mean, with different players and things like that. But, they stuck it out, man, and got it done, man. It's awesome.
Their coach probably called up Kirby about mid-season, be like, Kirby, what I got to do to get these guys right? That's probably Kirby's getting everybody advice these days. I saw him meeting with the new baseball coach at Georgia today that got announced as we're recording this. TK, you're over there, living a good life, playing a little bit of golf, vacationing it up right now, man.
Yeah, man, we out at the beach right now. I probably played golf like 6 days in a row. That game ain't got no better.
Yeah, sure.
But we out here hitting them things. So
I love it.
Game hadn't got no better, but TK's drinking tolerance has gone up a little bit this week. He's built up some.
Listen, we gonna have to take a little break.
Right,
man.
His liver's tapping. He's like,
my shit in a chokehold right now. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we are going to be talking about on this show today. We're going to be talking about some guys on offense for the Georgia Bulldogs in the 2023 season that we want to see step it up and show us that, hey, it's their time and they're ready to take advantage of that opportunity. We'll do defense next week. And also we're going to be starting our schedule previews as we go forward and head towards the SEC schedule here, not just for Georgia, of course, for all the teams. And today we're going to start with Alabama and Florida. These aren't game-by-game predictions. These are just going to be our thoughts on the schedule, how it sets up, what it could mean for these teams as they go throughout the season. But, guys, let's go ahead and, I did want to talk about a couple of things that have happened personnel-wise for Georgia before we get to that. You mentioned being a New Jersey guy. Knowshon, Georgia just signed a big New Jersey native today, or not signed, got the commitment of a New Jersey native today. A big 6'6", 300 defensive tackle, Jordan Thomas, comes in there. So, guys, Kirby's continuing to bring in big guys like that. I mean, 6'6", 300 pounds in high school. This man ain't even started his senior year of high school. Like, it's just Georgia's just recruiting on a different level now when it comes to the body type and all the. Also, TK, I mean, you coached college. I mean, you coached high school football. You've seen at the highest level, these guys are just getting bigger and bigger, it seems like, every year.
Yeah, bro. I mean, these kids are monstrous. They start a little bit earlier than we did. These kids are lifting weights at like 11, 12 in middle school. So they're primed to, what they're getting ready for a little bit more than we were, I think. I think a little stuff's a little bit more in their face from a Instagram, TikTok perspective. So they want it. So it's definitely cool to see. So like when you see a 6'6", 300 kid, it's not something that's abnormal, but it was abnormal sauce up there with cats like Big Cade Weston.
Weston, baby.
Big Weston's from up there where you were. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, speak to that, bro. Y'all do put them out. Like, it's not foreign.
That's what, man.
I was gonna say too, taught to that, but also give if Jordan Thomas, the newest commit for Georgia from New Jersey, is going to watch this, if he ends up catching his eye, tell this man what he can expect going from New Jersey down to the Peach State. What are some things that he needs to be prepared for?
Well, I'm sure he saw it with the coaches that came down to see him, but man, it's just the atmosphere, man. The people are down there so great, that hospitality, you know what I mean? And it's just different than New Jersey, you know what I mean? So if he gets the opportunity to go down there, and take a visit, it's going to be me going to be like, man, I love it down here, you know what I mean?
Well, that's why he committed. He just came off of OV, so he saw it. He was there. And
he was there already.
Pulled the trigger. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's in there. So he knows what's up, man. And I mean, it's hard once you get to a place like that and you see everything. You meet the coaches, you meet the people, you see the facilities. Man, it's hard to get out of there without being like, you know what? I'm just going to commit. I think I committed on my visit. But did I? I think I might have. I think I did it when I came down there for.
Not when you were playing spades with Kirby.
Nah, it wasn't that. I think he for real was at the camp.
Huh? I can't take that a little bit. I can't.
I think so. If I'm not mistaken, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go there. So I committed. But it's crazy, man. Another big body like that in the interior. I haven't seen his film or anything, but I'm assuming he's athletic and he's gonna get more athletic since he ain't even out of high school yet. So I mean, I feel like Georgia's started that little trend kind of, with Jordan Davis and some of the other guys that they had in the interior making plays. And now you can see other schools doing it too in the SEC. They're trying to catch us, but we're doing a great job. And where's he from in New Jersey though?
Don Bosco Prep.
Oh, Don Bosco, little Catholics. Okay, I remember Don Bosco. Man, it was always because we were number one in New Jersey as a public school. So it was like they always talk, we want to see, Middletown South. Look, you want to see Middletown South play Don Bosco, in the exhibition game to see who's really the best. You know what I mean? But I think we would have beat them boys. But Don Bosco put them players out there, so love to see it.
Absolutely. Another recruit right before we get started that you actually followed and welcomed on board, a running back flipped from Florida to Georgia on his official visit. You reached out to Mr. Chauncey Bowens and welcomed him in. Just speak on that a little bit. We know how you feel about Florida, Knowshon, with the dive and the celebration, everything that happened, and to see Georgia flip Chauncey Bowens from Florida to Georgia on his official visit. Just talk about that a little bit there.
Yeah, it's crazy. It seems like he's going to be a good cat, you know what I mean? A really good player. I'm going to watch some of his tape. Big boy seems like, you know what I mean? And he can get
5'11", 220, not even a senior yet.
That's what I'm saying. He's a big boy, you know what I mean? So,
I said them boys be lifting weights.
Bro, they're different, man. That's crazy. And what they're eating, you know what I mean? But I'd love to see another player of his caliber, coming in and helping the dogs out. But we have a full room now. We don't have a full room in there. Some players are going to have to step it up. And how you play all these guys, I don't know. I know the receiver room is the same way, and then the tight end room is the same way. It's like it's just crazy. So, but it's good for the competition, man. It's good to get players in there, have everyone competing, and then when the time is right for that person to get in there, they don't look past that.
Absolutely. And TK, you were mentioning, that's something cool to be able to, just welcome these young guys into the fraternity that you were a part of. Both of you guys kind of speak on that a little bit, TK, what it's like seeing some of these kids go through some of the same thing that you went through at one point.
Well, I mean, it's dope to obviously, to be a part of that, but it's dope too on this side to like just to follow it and to see the interlinkings of all this stuff. So it's cool. It's cool from both sides, bro. Like to have gone through it and to know exactly what that kid's going through in those moments a little bit, kind of, and then to just to report on it and stuff like that is dope, bro. Because the feelings that kid's getting, the excitement that he's experiencing and all that. So it's dope.
You have something else in common with Chauncey Bowens, TK. Y'all both broke Billy Napier's heart because he was at Clemson when you were there, and Chauncey Bowens just did it to Billy Ball at Florida. So
listen, it was probably a little easier for him to do it than me at this point because Florida is just struggling right now. So I mean, I feel like for him right now, it's probably easier for him to be like, you know what, I'm gonna take my talents to Athens.
Yeah, and it was crazy how it happened too. Knowshon, they're there. All these guys now, you know, they do these big photo shoots and all this kind of stuff. And he's out in the middle, and all of a sudden, they have a microphone in there. I guess they're telling guys where to stand. And he grabs the microphone and says, "I'm 100% committed to the Jeep." When the dude was committed to Florida, so he flipped on the spot and got it over with.
Wait,
so.
I feel like I saw that video.
Yeah, it was out on the UGASports TikTok, all that kind of stuff. So we had it out there. But yeah, interesting to talk about all that stuff. But now, guys, let's go ahead and get into our players that we want to see step it up. We're gonna call this the show me segment. You got to show me something this year. We're going Georgia offense to start off with. Knowshon, gonna let you have the first crack at it here. Who do you want to see just step up and show you a little something extra in 2023?
I mean, for me, there's a couple players. That just hits my mind quickly. But for me, I'm going to that running back room. I just talked about how that running back room is thick now. There's a lot of players in there, a lot of hungry players in there. And I want to see Kendall. I want to see Kendall Milton step up, man, this year. I know he was hurt a little bit last year. There's some people in front of him. But, I mean, Dijon came in and did some great things for us, you know what I mean? And Milton was kind of still on the sideline a little bit, man. So I want to see that fire come back for him. Last year, like I said, he was injured a little bit, but, you know, 592 on the ground. I want to see more than that, you know what I mean? Especially with all these players that are going to be chomping at the bit to get in that starting position. Edwards is being one of them. And who knows, he might win the job, right? So, I don't know. I want to see Milton step up this year and be that player that he needs to. Yeah, I mean, it's just time for him to step it up. You know what I mean? It's his junior year. There's some really, really good players behind him. So I just need him to be that one to step up this year. So we'll see what happens. I mean, come on, you got Broderick back there. I said Roderick back there. You got Branson. And I mentioned Edwards already. So I mean, there's a lot of players. And then like Chauncey's coming in. I mean, a young guy that's going to be chomping at the bit. So I mean.
Andrew Paul is coming back from an ACL from last year.
Yeah, so, Andrew Hall.
They've got guys that are in that room. But Knowshon, I wanted you to speak a little bit too on. I mean, it's just got to be real frustrating if you're Kendall Milton. It's like he's never been able to get that. He was a super high ranked recruit coming out. He had some flashes early on, but he's just never been able to really stay healthy for an entire season in his first 2 years in Athens. And now this junior year, to your point there, he can be draft eligible after this year. So, he's definitely looking to, I mean, you were in that same position where, hey, it's your third year playing, if you have a really good year, you could go pro. So, I mean, what do you just talk about that a little bit with his mindset and probably how he's going, especially with all the injuries he's had.
Exactly. The kid's probably hungry. He knows that he has way more to offer. You know what I mean? It's just that being available, being available on that field. You know what I mean? So, I mean, maybe he just has to change up his off-season schedule or his routine and things he's doing. Who knows? But I know he's probably going to be hungry, man. So just get healthy, get back right. You have all the resources there at Georgia to get back right. Isn't he injured right now? Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, he's always been banged up. Had a little hammy, had different things like that.
And the thing about the hammies too, those things are nagging. The hammies are nagging. Yeah, man. It's like you think you good, and then also you're like, a little tweak. So I just hope the man, gets right. Don't rush it, right? Even though you're gonna want to get out there, those other guys are gonna be out there balling. You're gonna be like, man, I need to get out there and show them what's up. You know what I'm saying? But, don't rush it. Get back healthy. But when you back, be back. Because, I mean, Absolutely. If he gets injured again, it's kind of going to be rough to jump back after all those people are going to be, moving up in the depth chart.
Especially with Big Branson over there. Branson's shown some stuff now. Yeah. I think he would be one chomping at the bit. TK, who is your guy that you want to see step up and really show you something in this 2023 season for Georgia?
For me, on offense, obviously, I'm gonna go with Ra Thomas.
Okay.
Obviously, AD Mitchell leaving is huge. I'm a big Ladd McConkey fan. Even though obviously he had a few timely drops last year, but whatever.
He had the yips there for a little while. Yeah, he went through a little case of the yips.
That happens, but like I think that, and I've said it before, I think that he showed like going through something like that in this league is tough. It's tough as shit to experience a drop spell in this league, and to come back in the manner that he did, phenomenal. I think that just speaks volumes to his character and to who he is. So yeah, Ladd McConkey is obviously the leader of this receiving room, but Thomas, bro, I think that coming from an air raid offense, Knowshon, you mentioned it before, he's seen so many different looks, and you talked about that from a quarterback perspective with Will Rogers, but as a receiver, bro, if you're inside and you're getting a nickel shading you outside or inside 1 week, or you're getting a cover three, like you're getting a different cover three look every week, where it's a linebacker or a nickel or a Sam. If you're getting that different type of look, you're seeing so much football. So I think that this kid is so equipped and so ready to be in a pro style offense where things are kind of tailored to what you have to do for this to work. So I'm excited to see him. 46 catches, I think, last year, almost 700 yards. I think he can only be an attribute to what we have going thus far. Obviously, Knowshon, you mentioned the tight ends. Every single room is packed with talent. So we do have a good problem to have, bro. It's exciting. But he is somebody that I think that has to emerge for us. I mean, obviously we got Don Blaylock, but I think he's somebody that's gonna be special for us and will be.
So what's up though? Hold on. So what you expecting from Rado? So you want like a 10 tugs or more, almost a G?
I mean, because listen, we give, and no, this is no slight to Ladd, but we give Ladd McConkey those jet sweeps. I think Thomas on a jet sweep is probably a little more dangerous, because he's somebody, and I think I've said this before. He's like a Miko Hardman. He's that kind of quick twitch kind of dude. Both of them, him and Dom. So honestly, I could have said either one of those guys. I'm super excited about the receiver room in general, but well, both of those guys can get down, bro. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Bobo uses them, and you know for a fact he's gonna find ways to get those guys the ball. He's gonna find, whether it's those sweeps or whether it's like little tunnel screens or rain or lightning, we used to call it. He's gonna find ways to get those guys the ball and get blockers in front of them and get them running. So I'm excited about it, bro. It should be a really different year, I think. I mean, different year from a receiver standpoint, where you were, as last year, you were looking for guys to emerge. Now we've got so many that we're just waiting on. So I'm excited, man.
Part of that too, I think, with Rah would be that when they're talking about, a lot of people discredit some of those numbers that Mississippi State receivers put up because they got the ball so much. And, a lot of people, for that matter of fact, when it was air raid under Mike Leach, they discredited what Knowshon has said before. They've discredited Will Rogers' numbers some in the past because of just the amount of times they throw the football and stuff like that. So you talked one thing I want you to kind of go a little bit further on. You talked about the difference in kind of running routes and concepts in an air raid versus the pro style. You played for Mike Bobo. Give us just a little bit inside of, okay, what is it like for a receiver? What are some adjustments you have to make even after the snap when you're a receiver in Mike Bobo's offense?
Yeah, I mean, from a two shell to one shell look, when it's a two high safety scheme, you may be having to run a safety off, like, to protect the seam route. So if it's a two shell look and I'm on the outside and I'm running a safety off, he's going to come with me. He has to, which is going to open up the seam for a Brock Bowers or in my time, Michael Bennett. So you have to know little things like that. And going back to my point, Rah-Rah's seen that. He's seen every look because he's been in the air raid. Everything's been thrown at him. So I think he's going to be equipped for that. And even just going back to like side adjustments, you got to be ready. In our league, they're bringing all kind of blitzes from the slot, bringing nickel blitzes, star blitzes. They're bringing Charlies, we used to call them. You got to alert that. You got to alert that right tackle, left tackle.
That's probably something he hasn't seen as much because people probably didn't blitz the air raid as much because they, the ball was coming out so quick and stuff like that.
Correct. So from a side adjustment standpoint, that's something that he may have to get a little bit more used to. But I'm sure he's had guys come from the slot. But yeah, that boundary corner position when they bring that Charlie, bro, that's hell. That's a blind shot. That's a blind shot waiting to happen to that quarterback. So you got to be able to alert that. Got to be able to side adjust it, sit it down, all of that. So I think those are things obviously right now that he's obviously getting honed in on, and probably is already honed in on just coming from Mike Leach. We act like Mike Leach ain't smart. Mike Leach is that dude. You know what I'm saying?
No, it was just totally different. It's like how Paul Johnson used to have Tech run the triple option. Right. That's how different what Mike Leach was doing was.
Right. So he probably is already equipped to that. Honestly, and I'm not an air raid dude, so I don't know. So that was probably built into something that they were doing already. So he's
didn't run air raid at the Hooch when you coached it over there?
Nah, bro, we ain't had the personnel to do that. We ain't had the personnel to air that thing out like that. So, yeah, bro. I don't know. I think that the Rah should be a guy, and
so he better be a starter. He better start. He better
listen. I don't see how not. I mean, I don't see how you don't play Ladd, Dom, Rah. I don't.
Well, you got Marcus Rosemy-Jackson, who's been around too. So, I mean, I don't know. But maybe he's not as dynamic as what but you did say that he looked really good at the pro day, Rosemy-Jackson.
He looked great. He looked really good at the pro day, bro. He looked like he was about to get drafted. So
you got Arian Smith there. Arian Smith who can fly. I mean, there's so many to Knowshon's point.
I was about to say,
bro, they're gonna be able to go what we call it cinco. They're gonna be able to go cinco for the first time since 2012.
How about this? Brent Rollins, who works here at UGA Sports with us, does coverage. He put out a tweet earlier today saying that in over 2,700 snaps offensively in the Georgia since 2018 for the last 2,700 something snaps, Georgia has had a running back on the field every one of those snaps, at least one running back. They have not gone 5 wide since 2018. I think to your point, TK, that could change a little bit this year, and you'll see some empty packages over there. So that was a good pick by Knowshon, a good pick by TK. We do want to throw out there that all of us, when in our pre-show discussions, were like, should we say Carson Beck? But we thought that was like low-hanging fruit. We all know that if Carson Beck is indeed the starter, as we believe he will be, Kirby hadn't officially named anybody, but all signs are pointing to that we know he's going to have to step up, and we know he's going to have to step up in the fourth quarter in games like Tennessee down the line, all that kind of stuff. But the one I want to pick is Ernest Green. And Ernest Green is going to step in and play left tackle. Him and Austin Blasky are battling it out right now. I think it ends up being Ernest Green, though. And, guys, when you talk about – TK, you and I were talking about before the show the history of Georgia at these tackles. They got Andrew Thomas, who just signed a huge contract with the Giants, who was a elite player, first-round draft pick. Now this past year they just put Roderick Jones into the league, who went to the Steelers, first-round draft pick. And now Ernest Green is a guy coming out from California who was a just heavily recruited guy. Georgia won out over Alabama, other schools like that, and he is going to be looked at to be that guy that steps in at left tackle. Knowshon, you had to work closely with those left tackles and offensive linemen when it comes to pass protections and stuff like that. I'm sure in the league and in college, you've been in situations where that position has had some change in it, whether it's a guy getting hurt or a guy moving on, a new guy coming in. Just talk about how integral that is, especially with a right-handed quarterback and all that goes into that left tackle position.
Yeah, man. I mean, we've always had some really good offensive lineman, man. When I got to Georgia, man, I never seen guys that big before. You know what I mean? I mean, the biggest guy I saw was like Cade Weston, and I was playing against him, right? And he was on the defensive side. I was like, dang, Cade is huge. But like, you know, you get to Georgia and all these guys are huge. You know, we had Clint Boland, we had Josh Davis. Who else we had? Chris Davis, Ben Jones. Who would you say?
Big Bean, Justin Anderson.
Oh my goodness, Justin Anderson. That's like a big
Cordy Glenn.
Cordy Glenn. Man, we always kept some big boys, right? And yeah, for a running back, you're gonna have to work with them. You're like the last lineman. You're considered a little bit of a lineman as well, because you're gonna be chipping. If a guy gets through, if your offensive lineman misses his block, and there's a defensive tackle or whoever coming down, you know, to smack your quarterback, the running back has to pick him up. You know what I'm saying? So we're all working together, and I love that. You know, we haven't missed any beats with getting all these great, you know, offensive linemen here at Georgia. So what you like?
So was there ever a moment where you was like, where somebody was just like, yo, like just like not doing it, and you was like, yo, brother, I'm having to pick this shit up every time, B?
Oh, not necessarily. Not necessarily. You know, you see it sometimes on the outside, you know what I mean? Like, right. You have the right tackle getting beat on the edge. But I've always been like, all right, cool, because I'm about to get this chip in, and it's about to be a highlight. You know what I'm saying? So I love helping out my left and right tackles on those ships. And like you said, man, we was just working together. You know what I mean? We're working together to get that job done. So I love to see it, man. I love to see that they're still getting these big boys out there. Shoot.
Yeah, and you're talking about chipping. You may have been chipping. You ain't chipping like old Darnell was chipping last year. Big O, knocking dudes down. You remember that?
Yeah. Bro, like, just make a highlight out of my chips.
I've seen.
Yeah, make a highlight out of my chips.
Yeah, I've seen some chips.
I just love it.
But Big Darnell, that's one thing that Georgia is going to miss this year is he's literally able to take a step down and just like stick his forearm out, and that guy goes flying there just because he's so big. So that's interesting stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see. I need Ernest Green to be that next guy. Now he needs to come in and live up to that pedigree, live up to the tradition there at left tackle. 6'4", 330, got great feet. Was dealing with a little bit of a neck injury. So see if he's fully recovered from that, ready to go fall camp. But Ernest Green is the guy that I am talking about. Now, we've talked about our players that we need to see step up. Now we're going to look elsewhere in the conference, because we don't just – you see that SEC in the logo over there. We talk about all things SEC, not just Georgia. So, guys, we are going to – and this is – I want to see just your – we haven't talked a lot about this beforehand. I just want your raw reaction to the schedules that we're going to look. We're going to look at Alabama and Florida. We'll look at Alabama first. So let me get that up on the screen.
So everyone can see that.
So Alabama leads off the season. Let's break it down into sections here. You got the first 3 games are Middle Tennessee at home, a team that's a good team that you know they do some decent things and with Stockstill over there. Beat the brakes off of Miami last year, so it's not like that they beat them like 45-31. So it's not like they're a terrible team, but they're still it's a quote unquote cupcake game. Then you come back, another home game. Texas is going to try to return the favor after Alabama went over there and beat them in their place last year. And then look at this. They're going
7 p.m.
They're going to USF in game 3. They're going over there to Tampa. Somebody asked me, why is Alabama playing at USF? And I said, I don't know. Maybe Saban's looking to open a Mercedes dealership in Tampa or something. He wants to scout it out. I have no idea why they're going over there. But what is y'all's first, just right off the top, what do you think about those first 3 games?
Shoot, the first game, I ain't even, it's like, okay, that's a tune-up Jones. Let's get right. I don't know what Blaine told. He told us something. They're not a bad team. It's all right. It's cool. They might not be a bad team for their conference, but all right.
I'm just saying they're not like, it's not like they're, you know, one of the worst teams. They do well in their conference every year.
Yeah, understandable. But, you know, tune-up Jones. Really excited for that, you know, round two, the Texas game. Woo! Let's see it. What quarterback? Who's going to be the quarterback over there? That's what I'm excited to see. And who's going to be stepping into that arena on the second week, man, super early, right? So can't wait for that. That's it for real, really. And even that third game, I'm like, I'm really interested in that fourth game, but let's wait. I'll wait till we get to that. But right now, I'm really interested in that second game.
What's your thoughts on those first three?
Oh, 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I looked ahead because you was talking about 1 like it was something. I didn't even count that. That's crazy.
Right.
Bro, you was talking too long about that one. Anyway,
Right.
Texas, I'm excited about it. Obviously, they played them good last year. If Buddy wouldn't have got hurt, viewers,
Yeah.
if he wouldn't have got hurt, they might have been in trouble for real. Yeah, I don't know why they going to U.S. That's kind of funky, right?
That's just a strange scheduling thing for Alabama to be going on the road to USF. That's
super
blowing
fun.
my mind.
But Tampa is fun. It's a fun town. You know?
Absolutely. So that's kind of the tune-up section, and except that Texas game. That Texas game is a preview of, hey, in 2024, Texas is going to be in the SEC anyway. So it's kind of a real deal SEC experience for them getting to go into Bryant-Denny over there. So something you definitely got to be excited about. Mm-hmm. Then they get to games 4 and 5. They go back-to-back with the Mississippi schools. You got Ole Miss at home. And then on the road, Rangalang Jangalang, TK, they go over there to Davis Wade Stadium in Starkville. So thoughts on back-to-back with the schools from Mississippi over there, fellas?
Let me go again. Well, shoot. That Ole Miss is intriguing because both teams, I think, at that point could be 4-0. Let me see. If I look at Ole Miss schedule, they don't have none early into Mercer, to them, they should be 4.
Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah, they should be 3-0 at that point. So I think both teams could be 3-0 going into that a big game.
Get your popcorn ready. That's what Lane said last time.
Don't say that shit this time.
Don't say this. Just go out there and play. So that would be intriguing to see. Okay, who takes that first L of the season? And then let's see. And then you went down to Texas A&M was your last one, right?
No, I just said Mississippi State because I mean, we don't know. None of us really know what Mississippi State's going to look like. I mean, we kind of have an idea because if you go look at what Zach Arnett's done on defense, it's probably going to be the same. And then their offensive coordinator comes from App State, so we all have watched a little bit of them and see what they do. But really, when TK, it's all about how we talked to Rylan Godey, who's transferring from Georgia out to Mississippi State. They didn't even have any tight ends on the dang roster. He's the first one they brought in. So it's going to be a totally different concept for them. I think we're not doing predictions here, but I think, being at home is really the best thing that Mississippi State can ask for with Alabama coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that's that's not even a question. I think anytime you change coaches, it's going to be tough. I don't know any coach that stepped into a situation and just has thrived with a new team, whether you've been there or not. And Zach Arnett, that defense was playing great, but you're
that Brian Kelly at LSU. He just got it done, man. But nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, he got it done until he stepped up against that buzzsaw and motherfucking the Benz. So you didn't get it done, my boy.
Better than expected. That's fair.
Yeah. So he can do the same thing until he see the buzzsaw, and then I'm saying
until Alabama comes in there in week 5.
Yeah, exactly. They're going another buzzsaw. So I mean, it's just gonna be it's what's expected is expected. I think.
But you know what though about Mississippi? I mean, I feel like they're gonna get tested pretty early in their schedule. I had to take a quick look. I mean, they got Arizona, then LSU, and South Carolina.
Yeah. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough.
Yeah.
It's going to be rough for Mississippi State. I mean, they just don't have the personnel.
Yeah. But I'm still excited to see what Will Rogers can do in this new offense, though, honestly.
I feel like if you go back and look at our show like a year ago, I was saying the same shit about Brian Kelly. So, you know what I'm saying? I think I said, I was like, shit. Yeah, hey.
Knowshon was the only one that was real high on LSU. We got to give him that. He was high on LSU going into the year.
Flowers.
No doubt. So one thing we haven't touched on yet, guys, we have no idea, and neither does Alabama, who their quarterback's going to be in those first 5 games. They could be rotating through quarterbacks in those first few games because they've got 3 that are competing, and they aren't going anywhere because you can't go in the portal. Portal window's closed, so all 3 of them are on the team until the season's over with. Milroe, Buckner that comes in from Notre Dame, and then, of course, Ty Simpson that's there. So that is something that we can't even – we'll get to that when we get to our individual, game previews, like breakdowns and predictions and stuff. But that's just hard to even – it's hard to even pinpoint, what Alabama's going to look like kind of because we don't know what their quarterback's going to be.
And you saying something, bro. I think the team changes with – if it's Milroe, I think that team's different than any other quarterback on that roster. Do you?
Yeah. It's going to affect how the type of offense they run. I mean, obviously they'll have more quarterback run in there. They'll probably take more play action shots, things like that. Do that kind of stuff. I mean, Knowshon, you've been in that kind of scheme before, my man. You've been in run play action. I remember that time out there in Denver a little bit.
Okay, you're talking about Mr. Tebow over there. Okay. Yeah, no, that was I don't know what we called that offense. It was just, if we called it hike the ball to Tebow and just run. I don't know what. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. But
you getting them carries though. They said we're gonna hand the ball to Knowshon and we're gonna let Tebow run a little bit and then we're gonna throw it around.
The thing is, man, the wildest part about all that is that you might see it in college here and there, like a box. Like I'm talking about safeties. We're at 10. Like that was the craziest thing to me. Like in the NFL, the safeties were at 10. I was like,
that is disrespectful.
Yo, it's almost like, bro, don't give me the ball. It's too many people in the box.
But I think Alabama, to your point, TK, Jalen Milroe, very much so in a Tebow-like deal, is a bigger, more muscular type quarterback. Like if you've seen Jalen Milroe, the dude's put together, and he's more of that kind of guy. Really, really fast. He has a strong arm, but like Tebow did, he struggles a little bit with accuracy at times. So that's a good point, Knowshon. They could see some loaded boxes, whereas maybe with Tyler Buckner and Ty Simpson, maybe you don't. But Tyler Buckner wasn't very accurate either, and that's one reason they brought in Ty Simpson. They brought in Buckner's because Ty Simpson wasn't accurate in the spring game. So we haven't even got through half the schedule, and I just thought we needed to point out we have no idea who Alabama's quarterback's going to be.
My boy, you saying something crazy, bro. I'm stuck on it. That boy said them boys is at 10 yards.
Yo, the safeties, V.
If I'm out there lined up and I see a safety at 10, I mean, it's cover 0. Like
it's like, bro, please throw us the ball out here, right?
Right now. Like, bro. Man, come on, man. That's too funny, bro. I kind of lost it there.
That's what happened. Day had probably made the Steelers sorry about that because they went cover 0 on him and he made him hurt. He made him hurt.
That post route hit him with that bang 8.
Yeah. Hey, to tell you the truth too, shoot, we talking about I haven't seen much from them backs either though. Like.
Yeah, Justice Haynes has really got a chance to, I think, from Veron's son, I think really has a chance to be there by the end of be their number 1 back as a freshman.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily a good thing if you got a freshman playing. So we'll see.
It can be done. That's not that. That's,
hit on that. Hold on.
Yeah,
that's a different beating.
Right there. Because I don't think you saw what Knowshon did this year. That boy was a true freshman. Boy was running out of his shoes. So it could be done.
It can be done.
I feel like I was ready to play. You know what I mean? But we had 3 great backs here at the time, and it was like, why waste them now? When 2 of these guys go to the league next year or whatever, we'll have another back. You know what I mean? So I thought I was ready for that season, but it didn't happen. But and at the same time, that's a good thing. That could be a good thing as well. For whatever player that is to get that year underneath their belt to get used to that speed of the next level of the SEC. You know what I mean? So it could be done though. It could be done. But
no doubt.
At the same time, man, you got to have other positions on that field that can, contribute to and help each other out. So, if your quarterback can't throw the ball, what's that running game really?
Well, we know TK that Alabama's they got talent at receiver. They got a bunch of dudes out there to throw the football to. It's just who's going to be the guy throwing the ball. But you talk about the speed of the game and all that. Speaking of picking up speed, the schedule picks up speed. October 7th, 14th, and 21st as you get Texas A&M, who beat Alabama 2 years ago, went toe-to-toe with them last year, even with being god-awful. They beat Alabama the year before and went toe-to-toe with them last year. Now they bring Bobby Petrino on, so we'll see how that goes. That's at College Station. Then back home versus an Arkansas team that I think we all think is going to rebound nicely from last year with an experienced KJ Jefferson and a Rocket Sanders. Pit Boss always going to have a physical offensive line. And then Tennessee comes to Alabama. Do you know how riled up those Alabama fans are going to be after they owned that rivalry with Tennessee for 20 years almost, and then Tennessee, celebrated like the world was ending over there when they beat Alabama at home last year. What kind of environment you think that's going to be, TK, when Tennessee rolls into Bryant-Denny?
What day that is? Boy, we trying to beat that sauce. You trying to go?
Yeah, for sure. What day?
We head to Tuscaloosa October 21st, huh?
Okay.
That's going to be crazy. A riot right there. That's going to be a riot for sure. Because, look, them boys had the damn goalpost in the river.
Yeah, chill out.
They had the goalpost in the river, cuz. So, yeah, them Bama fans going to be juiced up. Mm-hmm. But from a playing perspective, I'd say, listen, I think it may favor Bama a little bit, honestly, because I'm not, again, guys, Tennessee defense ain't showing me Nathan Beans, nothing. Yeah.
Well, and Alabama's to that point. I mean, great
matchup. But if we're talking from a coaching perspective, since we graded Nick Saban the second best coach last week, y'all can go see that in the last episode. Since we graded him the second best coach, I guess I'd have to give it to him.
There you go. Knowshon, one thing I'm seeing on this schedule: Texas at home, Ole Miss at home for Bama, Arkansas at home, Tennessee at home, LSU at home. They get all these big games at home. That's a huge plus for Alabama.
Man, you ain't never lie about that. I see a lot, and they're a lot of them are back to backs too, so they're staying home for a while. That's a great point, Blaine. I think the thing that jumps off to me, I think that Tennessee game is going to be a really good game, right? Both teams are going to be thinking about what happened last year, and who knows what the records is going into that game as well. It could be another undefeated two teams going against each other. So that's going to be exciting. And then I look at that next week, which is a bye, right, to lead into another big game. That's not a back-to-back big game. Big games for Alabama, and this is the LSU game. And I think LSU has a bye week at the same time, right? So you get 2 weeks really to prepare for another big game. So I can't wait to see which head coach comes out with that game plan. Is it going to be Saban, or is it going to be, Brian Kelly for getting 2 weeks to prepare? So it's going to be a high-scoring game, maybe. Who knows?
That's kind of a revenge sandwich right there for Alabama. They're trying to get revenge on Tennessee. They're trying to, make sure they don't get in trouble with the Tuscaloosa police on the bye week, and then make sure and then beat LSU. That's always the opponent in college. You got to make sure nobody gets in trouble on the bye week. Nobody gets suspended, and then you'll be good for the next game coming out. TK, what's your thoughts on LSU? And then leading into a game at Kentucky. I mean, that could be a little sleepy time Jones right there. Maybe fall asleep with Kentucky.
I mean, y'all said something, bro. As I look at even backing all the way up to Ole Miss, every single game after the Ole Miss game is huge. Then you get to the LSU game, huge. And then Kentucky, your boy. Like,
you got to go to Kentucky.
Yeah, you got to go to Kentucky, and then you got to think that Mark Stoops, given as good as that defense has been consecutively, bro, you got to think at some point something's got to freaking give, and they got to win a major one. You know what I'm saying?
Well, y'all both played at Kentucky. Weird things happen up there. I mean, it just weird things happen.
Vanderbilt and Kentucky, bro, like them look like weirdest places to play in the world. Like, I don't know why.
Were y'all on the team when Coach Rick about got in a fight with James Franklin? Were y'all
I
on the team?
was. It was.
That might have been.
Yeah, I was.
I just remember. I don't remember what happened. Tell me what happened on that one.
I just feel like it was some player stuff, and then Coach Rick. It was the first time I ever seen Coach Rick get like, what's up?
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh, yeah.
He wasn't taking it from him now.
Yeah, I was like,
hilarious.
For real. So yeah, that was the first time I ever seen it. But I think it was some players like my boy Sean Williams. That's my dog Blue. He a dog. Him and some like they just got it beefing, and you know James Franklin he ain't with that shit either, so he kind of got in between them. I think he kind of pushed Sean, and then you know Coach Rick ain't with that shit. I guess.
I guess. Yo,
I didn't know. Hey, I didn't know. But hey, we got you.
Yeah,
but you found out, and then you get another cupcake game after Kentucky, and then we all know that the Auburn game. It doesn't matter what the records are. It doesn't matter. One, it's at Jordan-Hare Stadium, and we all know that, as like we said, crazy stuff happens at Kroger Field in Kentucky. Really crazy stuff, like magical stuff, happens over at Auburn.
But you ain't gonna talk about Chattanooga Mocs like you talked about Middle Tennessee, Blue.
They ain't got the horses that Middle Tennessee does. I'm just telling you, it's a little bit different. They did have a lineman drafted to the NFL this year, so kudos to the Mocs over there. But the Auburn Tigers, that's a bad time to play Auburn if you're Alabama, because it's first year under Hugh Freeze, and you got to think towards the end of the year Auburn's going to be a much better team than they are at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. And I love Hugh Freeze, bro. We talked about that before. Like he do some magical stuff, and that place magical.
Yeah. I saw it a little bit different when I looked at it. It's more so like you come up back to back. Pretty much back-to-back
physical game.
Yeah, physical games, very, very, very competitive games.
Get a little break against the Mocs.
Yeah. Like going into that last one, you're like, we're gonna get it done. They might call the dogs off early, where it's like, you know, we don't need to, because shoot, they have a chance to be in that SEC championship, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. I see it after that Kentucky game, having another tough one. It's like, all right, we know we can get past Auburn and and the mother boys. Chattanooga. So
that was our breakdown of our preview of Auburn's schedule. Listen, guys, this one won't take as long. Florida's schedule.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just looking at it right now, and I'm trying real hard to find games that I can circle and say, okay, that's a W for Florida. And other than McNeese State week 2, Charlotte in week 4, maybe Vanderbilt, because remember, the Doors took them to the woodshed last year. The Doors beat them Gators last year. So
with Anthony Richardson, bro.
With Anthony Richardson. And that's the other thing. You look at that Utah game last year, Anthony Richardson literally had to put forth a superhuman type effort for them to win that game at home. Knowshon, they're coming out towards your neck of the woods over there to the Utes to open up. Could be a rough start for Billy Napier.
That can beat Utah.
Ooh, I don't know. Can we do the associative property in football? Does it work that way?
Mm-hmm. Nah, I'm with you, Blaine. I don't see many. I see maybe so that's pretty much 2 halves. First half of the season, second half. I see maybe 2 in the first, and then
I don't know any in that.
On that second, right? I really don't. And shoot, to make matters worse, you ended the season with that Florida State game. That's kind of ooh.
Listen to this, guys. Too. Think about this. They start the season with back-to-back Pac-12 champion Utah at Utah. They end the season with Florida State, who is by a lot of people's favorite to win the ACC this year. So they could end up having 3, because probably Georgia in the SEC, they could have 3 conference champions, 3 Power 5 conference champions on their schedule this year. No favors are being done for Billy in year 2 down there at Florida.
None.
And I'm sad about it because I like Billy.
Because I'm sad about it.
I'm sad about it. I like Billy, bro. I really, really like. I F with him, bro. He good human, good person, but it is a.
Hey, hold on now. Whose record is going to be better at the end of the season? All right, yeah, Vanderbilt or Florida? Who's going to have? That's what I thought.
Vanderbilt's they got a lot more pieces this year than they had before, and they got AJ Swan, our guy from the Georgia over there, TK,
right,
quarterback that's coming back. So I think Vanderbilt's definitely going to have a better record.
5 at least.
They got an easier. Hey, hold on. We haven't done this in a while.
She don't want that 2-footed bad boy. She don't want that Dos Zapatos animal. You know what I'm saying?
10 toes down, full 2-foot prediction right here. Dos Zapatos. Vanderbilt will finish the 2023 season with a better record than the Florida Gators.
Damn, that's some deep shit you just said, boy, and I might agree with it. Yo,
because the crazy thing is I agree.
That is crazy sauce. You clicking up?
Yeah, I just had to. I wrote it down. Listen, I really got the book this time. The last time they were all over my notes, man. I got notes everywhere, so I got the book now. We're gonna keep it really, really tight. But bro, I agree with him. I mean, look at that schedule, bro. I mean,
it's tough.
They might be last in the whole league in the SEC. I mean,
because we know on November 18th when they go up to Como up there in Missouri, we know Knowshon that they're going to get the business up there, right?
Yeah.
But we gonna be there
for sure. Yeah,
we need to find a way to get it to where we get the Missouri fan base aware of Knowshon's support for them, where Knowshon's like out there like hitting a drum before a Missouri game.
Yo, imagine that. Yo, shut up.
Didn't even play over there. He's wearing full Missouri gear.
Yo, full. I like him. I like them boys. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I agree with you, man.
I just don't think there's a whole lot further to break down on this schedule other than in the line and what is it, Rocky? Is it Rocky?
Are we really effing disrespecting them like this? Like, are we really?
I'm really saying it.
Yo, are we really disrespecting them like this? Like,
bro, how many wins?
Hey, TK, right. Tell me one receiver on Florida's team that you don't think you could go out and play better than right now.
Boy, I'm 5. I can go play for the motherfucker.
I'm just saying, having drank about 1,000 high noons and playing 6 rounds of golf, you can't go out right now and just go torch those Florida receivers. They don't have a playmaker, is what I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. I can go. Yeah.
Xavier Henderson, he transferred out. He saw what they did in the spring, and he said, "See y'all."
That's what I was alluding to. The guys aren't even there. The guys that we know of aren't even there. So it's even hard to say that, bro. Like, so it's ugly for them boys for sure. But yeah, I said 3 games. I hope they win more than 3 games, bro. Like, and
if they don't.
That's just looking at the schedule. I'm saying 3, and that's because Vandy tapped that ass last year.
Yeah. So, if they don't win 3 games, guys, if they don't win more than 3 games, is Billy Napier? Do you think they buy him out? Do you think they say we're done?
I mean, bro, this landscape of football is so stupid. Like 2 years.
Let's take it to a further level. Knowshon. If Georgia, Florida's arch rival, wins a 3rd straight national championship, and in that same year that Kirby does a 3-peat, Billy only wins 3 games, do you think Florida gets rid of it?
Bro, we talked about this, in the past weeks. What have you done for me lately, right, TK? And like boosters, as to Blaine point, but Blaine is always talking about the boosters, fan base. No one wants to wait 4 or 3 years to win games, man. They want it right now. So I mean, if they have another season this year where they're the laughing stock of the league, I mean that's what 2 years. TK,
okay. Who the F do you go get right now,
bro? It's going to be every year. There's a influx of coaches coming from different places. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the NFL, and all of a sudden an NFL coach might go somewhere, I mean,
there's a guy over there not far from Knowshon that I bet would probably take the job.
No,
he ain't hard to find. You know what I'm saying?
That's too early. He gonna at least stay here at least 3 to 4.
Not if Florida came coming. If Florida offered Deion Sanders, he would leave Colorado in a heartbeat.
Nah,
100%.
No. He's doing too much for the Buffs right now. I'm changing that culture over there, getting the players that we need, and everyone loves it. You know what I mean? So, and he has something to prove. I feel like so. I don't think he's gonna leave that quick.
Now that
in 1 year,
that'd be something to see, though. So.
Oh, bro. I would be a fan, and that's crazy. Did I just say that?
Wait a minute. I don't say no.
I can't believe I just said that, but I just love the way. Listen, every time I hear Deion talk, I'm like, I want to play, I want to coach. What you want? Let's do it. You know what I mean? I'm right here because
think about this. Think about the back and forth that would go between Kirby Smart and Deion Sanders.
That'd be yo. I'm saying something right now. I kind of want that,
bro. I'm saying, yeah. Well, I don't know the clips you've seen of Deion, but man, every time it gets thrown on, it gets you hyped.
And two, it would be another way for Florida to stick it to Florida State because Deion went to Florida State.
And why would they not come calling, yo?
They're going to be good this year. That's why Mike Norvell's got that thing. He's going to get that thing rolling this year. I'm telling you.
We'll see about that one. Click up. Yeah, we'll see.
It'll be interesting. But guys, we've covered so much. It's been awesome. Thank you for tuning in. We had to record this one. Life kind of got in the way, so we went ahead and recorded this one early. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we will be back with you guys next week talking about the defensive players that need to step up for Georgia in the 2023 season, and we will preview 2 more schedules. Tune in to see who those schedules we're going to preview will be. For Knowshon Moreno and Tavarres King, I'm Blaine Gilmer. We'll catch you guys next time.
The best in this sport, whether you like it or not, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Woo!